Welcome back to JustMakeGames.com. Today we've got an exciting announcement. We've released the first build of our community-wide game, and we've included a third-person camera, a custom player model, and a custom skeleton AI entity for you to place in the editor. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the launcher and the editor to show you all the features we've implemented that will be accessible to you as soon as you download the latest build. Simplest way to obtain the latest build would be to click here to download, and once you've logged in you can download the zip file, and you can extract that zip file into preferably a new CryEngine directory. I've renamed mine Cryation, and that'll overwrite all the files in bin32 code game and your auto exec. That'll overwrite everything in your CryEngine directory, and it should be ready to go once you execute the launcher. You should see our changes implemented. Once our game is loaded, you should immediately see the changes implemented. You can see our third-person camera along with our custom player model, and right now we're just using a low-poly human mesh for practice, and there has not been any materials applied, which is the reason for the odd polygon shading. And we're going to teach a tutorial for how you can import this. We're going to release this max file for you to download and practice with, and show you how you can bring in this player model. But skinning and rigging is a technique that requires a lot of practice and skill. So we're going to show you some places you can go to further your skills. It's highly recommended that you get very good at that, or find someone who is, if you want to actually be effectively using custom models, character models in CryEngine 3. But for now we're going to finish importing this guy's materials, and you can see this warping in the arm and stuff like that, and that's the reason is proper skinning techniques, which we'll go over in the tutorial. But there are a few things I'd like to see done before we release the tutorial for how you can import your custom player. But in the meantime, if you want to take a look at basically what we've done to import a custom player, is in the game objects characters folder that's included in the download. You'll see the player 1 folder with the max file that you can go in there and kind of check things out, and check out the CDF file. The CHR file is what you're exporting from max, and that's basically just your mesh, and the character parameters are the animation parameters, and we're just using the default CryEngine 3 animations with this character. But we are going to provide an in-depth tutorial for you guys to follow these steps to import this exact player model into the game, as well as later on how to use your own animations and things like that. But before we release that tutorial, I'd really like to get this contest finished with the Not So Creative contest you can see on our home site. And it's real simple to just come in and drop a comment. We have 25 comments, but we need 25 of them to be ideas. A lot of them are just replies. And once we do that, we'll give away free web hosting, and I'm also going to be giving away free web hosting to some of the runners-up. So it just takes a second. That way we can get on to giving away Dirt 3, and then we've got a lot more better prizes to give away in the future, and a lot of fun contests. So I think it's really important for the growth of the website that users are coming and participating in the contest and winning free prizes. So please just take a second to drop a comment, and we'll be releasing the custom player model tutorial very soon. So once you've loaded the editor, if you go into any map under Objects Entity, you should see a skeleton entity next to the grunt entity, and it's basically a clone of grunt. However, it's using its own custom model, the same model that we're using for our player model. And it's basically going to do everything the same grunt is doing. However, the advantage is now you can have a custom AI class that's going to use its own speed. Basically every parameter you can set, and it's not going to affect the grunt. So if you wanted multiple enemies with different features, then you can just edit the skeleton parameters in all the Lua files, which we've included in the download. So we'll go into detail into editing these Lua files and the entity files in another tutorial. But for now, you can just go in and see everything we've implemented, and you should be able to figure out basically what's going on. So I hope you guys aren't upset that we've released the build before we release the step-by-step tutorials, but rest assured we are going to have very in-depth tutorials as far as implementing the changes in C++ for creating a new class for your skeleton entity, and then creating all the entity and Lua files to do so, and modifying the parameters. And we're also going to have a very in-depth tutorial to skinning your custom player model and importing him into CryEngine 3. We just wanted to release this build to let everyone know we have been working, and for all the people who like to kind of toy around and stay up to date, you can go ahead and check this out and see what you can do. And thanks a lot for watching, and we'll have more updates soon.